Chapter 4, Redline Override. Raymond was already running when the grid failed. The transport network under Sector 11 flickered, stuttered, and then simply disappeared beneath him, collapsing into a cascade of red sparks. Pathways that should have stretched for miles blinked in and out of existence like a dying pulse. Most operators would have stopped. Raymond accelerated. His boots hit the unstable platform with explosive force as he sprinted forward, red energy igniting around his suit like fire in a vacuum. Every step blasted cracks into the floor, scattering fragments of geometry that dissolved into the digital abyss. He pushed harder, faster. The system screamed warnings inside his visor. Warning: grid instability critical. Pathway failure, 98%. Recommend. Full stop. Nope, Raymond growled. Stopping wasn't an option. Darrell's distress beacon had triggered less than 30 seconds earlier, followed by a vault collapse alert from Al. Then Lucio's firewall fell, sending a shockwave of security alarms across the entire network. 3 operators, 3 of the system's best, in trouble simultaneously. The math wasn't random. The timing wasn't coincidence. Someone wanted them isolated. And Raymond knew what happened to operators who stayed isolated in collapsing sectors. He had no intention of letting that happen. The ground ahead flickered again, entire chunks of pathway vanishing into black void. Raymond leapt over the collapsing geometry, landing hard on a fragment barely large enough to hold him. He skidded, regained his balance, and kept running. His visor lit with new warnings. Transport grid offline. Alternate routes unavailable. Recommend emergency evacuation. Raymond snorted. Recommend you shut up. He tightened his fists, feeling the power pulse through every conduit of his suit. The red energy surging through him wasn't just speed, it was momentum. Direction. Purpose. Raw force channeled straight into motion. But the collapsing system was outpacing him. Pathways were disappearing faster than he could sprint across them. He needed more. He needed Redline Override. His most forbidden move. He hesitated for exactly 1/2 second. Then the next platform flickered out of existence. That settled it. Raymond exhaled. All right. You asked for it. He slammed his foot into the ground. Redline Override activated. His suit ignited in an eruption of red energy so bright it painted the collapsing sector in crimson light. Flames of digital geometry flared along his limbs, trailing behind him like comet tails. The ground beneath him cracked from the force as he shot forward. Redline Override wasn't just speed. It was controlled annihilation, exerting so much force in one direction that the architecture barely survived his passage. He was a missile aimed straight through the failing network. Faster. 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 The world blurred into streaks of black and red. His visor strained to keep up with the input data. Redline threshold, 40%. Neural strain elevating. Suit temp, rising. He pushed harder. Come on. More platforms collapsed around him, blinking out faster than raindrops falling. He dodged left, then right, then vaulted over a yawning void that stretched like a digital canyon beneath him. The core of the sector loomed ahead, a massive beam of red energy that should have connected all transport layers. It was dark. Dead. The collapse was spreading outward from it like a star imploding. Raymond's breath hitched. This wasn't system decay. This was sabotage. Someone or something had struck the transport grid directly. Hit it hard. Hit it in the heart. He landed hard on a rotating platform and immediately pushed off again, red energy scorching the surface as he blasted forward. Ahead, the central beam cracked, red lightning splintering outward in all directions. If that beam fell, the entire region would collapse into a bottomless void. He poured everything he had into accelerating. Redline threshold, 62%. Neural link strain, high. Warning, danger to operator. Raymond grit his teeth. Yeah, so? He hit 70% redline. The air burned around him. The sector collapsed at his heels as he sprinted up the last stretch of flickering geometry. He reached the central beam just as a massive chunk broke free, falling toward the void below. Without thinking, without slowing, he launched himself upward. Red energy burst from his boots as he soared toward the twisting mass of broken code. He slammed both hands into it. The impact lit the sector like a small sun. A shockwave erupted outward, stabilizing the beam just enough that the collapse halted. The fragment of architecture he caught trembled violently but held in place. Raymond dangled in midair, one hand gripping the fractured core beam as debris rained down around him. He growled and pulled. Muscles strained. Circuits sparked. Redline Override screamed warnings inside his head. But the fragment didn't fall. He forced it back into alignment, slamming it against the edge of the core beam with one final burst of strength. The connection clicked. The core flickered, then ignited. A burst of red energy surged upward, reactivating the transport spine. Pathways throughout the sector flickered back to life one by one. Raymond dropped to the newly stabilized platform, panting. His visor dimmed the glare as the sector rebooted around him. Grid restoration, 48%. Sector stability, partial. Redline threshold, 71%, dangerous. He grinned weakly. Good enough. Then a shadow fell across him. Raymond's smile faded. A cluster of corrupted code was rising from the center of the beam, forming long, jagged limbs and a twisted torso. Red eyes flickered within the glitching mass. A packet phantom, but not like the one Lucio fought. This one was huge. Twice Raymond's height, limbs long enough to scrape the platform as it fully manifested. Its form flickered rapidly, as if it couldn't decide on a single shape. Raymond cracked his neck. Well, guess we're doing this. The phantom shrieked a distorted, broken sound like a corrupted file trying to play. Then it lunged. Raymond dodged left, barely avoiding a clawed strike that carved a trench through the platform. He countered with a quick burst of red energy to the phantom's chest. It staggered, but only for a moment. Then it reformed. Bigger. Faster. More stable. Raymond frowned. You guys don't stay dead, do you? The phantom lashed out. Raymond blocked the strike with both arms, red sparks erupting as the force sent him skidding backward. His boots dug into the platform, leaving scorch marks. He glanced around quickly. The sector was still stabilizing, only partial pathways were active. Running wasn't an option. Good thing he wasn't in the mood to run anyway. The phantom lunged again. Raymond didn't dodge this time. He charged. Redline energy roared through him as he hit the phantom head-on, driving it backward. The impact sent both of them sliding across the platform until Raymond slammed the creature into one of the remaining support pillars. He unleashed a flurry of punches, each one a burst of red light, crackling across the phantom's corrupted mass. The phantom shrieked, glitching harder with every blow. Raymond felt his muscles burn. His suit strained to contain the force of every movement. Redline threshold, 78%. Warning, Neuralink unstable. Recommend immediate deactivation. Not yet, Raymond hissed through gritted teeth. He grabbed the phantom by the throat, or what passed for one, and hurled it across the platform. It crashed into a cluster of floating geometry, fracturing into shards of black and red. But the shards immediately began reassembling. Seriously? Raymond sighed. Do none of you stay down? The phantom reformed completely and charged again, faster than before. Raymond dodged at the last second, grabbing its arm and swinging it in a wide arc before slamming it into the ground. Cracks spidered across the platform. Raymond lifted a hand. Red energy built, spiraling into his palm. A high-density blast. A risky one. His visor screamed warnings. Redline threshold, 90%. Critical risk, suit failure / system damage / operator harm. Raymond ignored every alert. He aimed at the phantom. It lunged. He fired. The blast hit the phantom point blank, ripping through its entire torso in a blinding flare of red light. The corrupted mass disintegrated, dissolving into thousands of flickering particles. This time, it didn't reform. Raymond fell to one knee, panting, his suit venting heat in violent bursts. His visor slowly cleared the warnings. Threat eliminated. Sector stability, 63%. Redline override, cooldown required. Raymond wiped digital dust off his armor. Then his comms clicked alive. Raymond, report. Darrell shouted, sounding halfway between panic and pain. Raymond grinned. Redline override worked. Sectors mostly back online. Al chimed in, exhausted. We detected a massive energy discharge. Are you still functional? Define functional. Lucio added. Did you encounter a phantom? Raymond glanced at the fading traces of corrupted ash swirling through the air. Yeah, he said quietly. A big one. And? Lucio pressed. Raymond stood up slowly, cracking his knuckles. And it didn't walk away. Silence. Then Darrell's voice came through again. Meet us at Sector 0. We've got a problem. Raymond looked at the flickering horizon. I'm on my way. He took one step forward, then blasted off in a flare of red energy, streaking toward the rendezvous. The Core 4 were converging. And whatever they were about to face, it was only the beginning.